Hello, hello. Welcome to the Marketing 101 for Small Business Owners podcast. Marketing is not easy when you're trying to launch a business. If you are doing it all by yourself, kudos to you. And I hope the information that you find on my podcast will help and guide you through this process. I'm a marketing consultant with a focus on content strategy, and my aim is to help you determine the right content for your business and what you should do with that content so you can get more business and generate more leads. And that's why this month I'm sharing a series on how we can use marketing to generate leads. In this particular week, we're focusing on how we can use paid social media ads to get quality leads. So as I was saying, there's so many different layers to marketing and so many different things we can do. So I'm trying to break down each of the different marketing tactics that we can try, or at least four of them in this series. And again, this week we're focusing on paid social ads. So paid social ads are actually a great way to generate leads. The key is to know when to use them and how to use them in the right way. It isn't easy when you first get started to find the right balance for your business and for your audience when it comes to finding the right channels and the right ways and the right ad spend when it comes to social media ads. So here are 5 steps that I advise each person should take when starting out in creating a social media ad and with the purpose of generating leads. So, the first thing we really need to think about is finding our audience. It's essential to target your audience as precisely as possible when it comes to ads so you're not spending too much money pushing your ad outs to people who don't really need to see it. You can accomplish this very easily by using tools like Facebook's lookalike audiences or something similar to that. The point is here, you really want to know who you're trying to reach and use the tools provided to find that audience to increase the chances of your target audience actually seeing your ads and being able to respond to them. So we have to start with, knowing who your audience is. So if you don't even know who your audience is and who you're really trying to reach, start with that step. And then once you figure that out, make sure you know who it is so that way you can set up your audience correctly when you're trying to set up your first social ad. Now, the next step I think everybody should do when considering using a paid social ad is to create a clear call to action. Any and all marketing pieces should always have a clear call to action, and paid ads are no different. The call to action should be very clear. It should be very, very easy for people to find, for people to follow the steps involved, such as click here for more information. Don't include a bunch of additional information and buttons for different options. It's that it's only going to cause a lot of confusion and distractions and reduce the likelihood of somebody doing the action you really want them to take. So if you have one clickable option on your landing page, make sure it's your clear call to action and nothing else. All right. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're showcasing your brand. You should, when it comes to your social ad, you want to make sure you're including your logo, your website URL, and any other branding element in the ad so that people can easily identify you. You want to make sure that the aesthetics of your ad match the landing page or your website that they're landing on. So when people go from your ad to your page to the clear to call to action, they have a smooth branded experience and they know that they're in the right place from the ad to your website and they know they're working with you. So showcase your brand and have it all in a very smooth, cohesive design. Step 4 would be to make sure that you are using the right images and text with your ad. Images that you use in your paid social ad should be relevant to what your ad is offering. And any text or image or any text on the image or in the ad copy should also, again, be very relevant to what your ad is offering and clear. So everything should be, matched. So the time in which you have to gain their attention and convince them that your ad is relevant to them and convince them to act by clicking on your ad, it's very quick. Again, social people scrolling on social media don't have they're usually very short attention span in that activity. So make sure that you're using the right words and the right images to convey what you're offering, to convey its value, and that they can react very quickly. All right, and the last tip I have, or last advice I have, or the last step in this process that I have for you is step 5 would be um, exercise patience. When it comes to anything marketing, one thing to understand is that nothing is immediate. To know your return on investment, you need to give your ad some time to do its work. You will never get accurate results with an ad that's just up for only 2 weeks. You need to give it some time to do its work before you have any really real strong data to measure. So if you have it in the budget, I recommend starting with an ad that runs for at least 60 to 90 days. But the good thing with ads is that you can determine how much money that is. So you can have an ad that runs for 90 days, but only is like maybe $150. You don't have to spend a whole lot, like $150 a day. You don't have to do anything like that to test how things are going. So, but I do encourage people to give it a little bit more than just a week, even more than a month. Give it 2 to 3 months, 60 to 90 days to really see how things are going to get accurate measurements. So exercise patience with your ads, don't rush them. So when it comes to creating social media ads to generate leads, there definitely are some benefits to this process. Paid social ads are a great way to generate leads for your business because they have many benefits to using ads. And one of the biggest benefits is it allows you to target specific users and demographics. Like I was mentioning before, with picking your audience, you have that ability to really go after specific people. And so here are some more benefits. So with social paid ads, you can increase engagement with existing and potential customers. Increasing engagement with customers is no easy task. So with the rise of social media and other platforms, it's become increasingly more complex for businesses to maintain um, contact with current and potential customers. It could take hours of consulting customer databases and analyzing customer behavior patterns, or hours spent reviewing marketing data to identify the optimal timing for communication. So with paid social media ads, you reduce that because you're in control and you're setting the parameters and you're increasing the opportunity for them to see it rather than just trying to do something organic and hoping they see it. Also, with paid social ads, you can target specific audiences based on key demographics. Paid advertising is an effective way to reach targeted audiences, and it can be used to promote a product or establish a new brand and increase visibility for companies and websites. So you can target specific audiences with paid ads based on key demographics such as ethnicity, gender, location, age, and interest. And the ads are seen by the people who meet are most likely to be interested in what you have to offer because you have determined those specific key demographics. Right. Another benefit of using paid ads is you can gain some much needed and elevated brand awareness. With paid ads, you can get your brand in front of people who are not already familiar with you. And this is key, especially for nonprofits. This is an effective way to raise awareness for your product or service, what you're doing for the community. And paid ads can be broken into two different types. You've got branding and direct response. So branding ads are designed to create awareness for your company and make it more memorable, while direct response ads are intended to drive sales and from a specific audience. And so the ultimate goal for ads is not always to generate and gain a sale. Sometimes it's just making people aware of who you are and what you offer. That way, if people need it, they know where to go. And that again is key for nonprofits who are trying to reach a specific audience that has a need that they're serving. And so paid ads is great for there. And I'm going on a tangent, but if you're a nonprofit and you're not aware of it, Google has a grant for a lot of nonprofits that will give you access to, I think it's sometimes up to $5,000 or more worth of ad space a month to get your brand out there and get your nonprofit out there and into the hands that need it the most. So there are some stipulations as to what the nonprofit can or can't be offering, but that's getting into the weeds of things. But I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that if you're a nonprofit that's there for you. Okay, all right. So another benefit, my last benefit for using paid ads is that you can earn high website traffic depending on what you're doing. Well, actually almost anybody wants website traffic. People are always excited about visitors coming and seeing those numbers of people coming to your website. And so paid ads are an easy way to monetize your website traffic. So for example, if you have a food blog, you could place an ad for restaurants in your city and earn money every time a potential customer clicks on one of the links. And so paid ads are a great way to get traffic to your website and get people reading your content and following the action you want them to do. So now, of course, along with benefits, there's sometimes some concerns. So there are some concerns regarding use paid ads to generate leads. So while paid ads are a great way to generate leads, there are some concerns that we want to be aware of. And so here are two major concerns I have that I want you guys to consider before moving forward. So if you don't have a budget for paid advertisement, you may not be able to afford lead generation this way. So with so many options, it can be challenging to determine what advertising method would have the best return on investment. So you'll really need to analyze the cost of your paid ad campaign versus the revenue you might get if people follow through. So if you don't have a budget for paid advertisement, you might not be able to afford the lead generation needed for your business to be successful. So you really have to look at that. So let's say you want to do an ad and you're considering spending $300 a month for your ad. But if you really want to consider, if somebody clicks on an ad and they buy your product, but your product is only worth $30, that means you would have to get at least 10 people to follow through with that ad for you to get just to get your money back on what you spent on the ad. So you really want to think about, okay, how much do you want to spend on this advertisement versus how much you get on in return for what people get, for what you get when people actually follow through and click on it. So that's something to consider. The next thing to consider is when you're using paid advertisements to generate leads, it can be risky because it requires your full attention. And what I mean by that is advertising is expensive and it's a time consuming way of generating leads. Sometimes it could be a good choice, but other times it may not work out. And social media is immediate. And while this allows you to measure the results in real time, it also means that your social media ad requires daily monitoring, which can be costly and highly time consuming. So if you are, again, a solopreneur and don't have somebody managing ads for you, you have to, plan ahead and allocate to invest some time into checking on the status of your ad. Where's the progress going? Do I need to make any changes? Do I need to change out images to get better results? So social media ads are a great marketing tactic to generate leads and increase sales. And it will take a bit of work to monitor and measure whether you're getting a solid return on your investment or your ROI. So to see results, advertisers need to keep up with the daily, basically they need to daily monitor their ads, see where it's going. And this task can take sometimes hours of work every single week, leading to burnout for some business owners, especially if it's a business owner, you don't have somebody dedicated to doing this for you. So since they can be expensive and time consuming, it's essential to make sure that the content is compelling enough for people to share it and to generate the traffic you need and to generate the leads you need. So a lot to consider. When it comes to creating social media ads, I always recommend people don't go at it alone. Don't try to just wing it on yourself. Like, work with an expert to get things started. To make sure that, again, because you're putting money on this, you want to make sure that you have your ad set up right to get the good results you need. So as entrepreneurs, we've all been blessed with a product, a service, or some idea that we want to share with the world. And we have something to offer that we genuinely believe will add value and be of a help to someone else. It's our goal and our mission to generate leads and to be able to share the message about what we offer to the world. So this series that I've been doing is dedicated to how we can move forward each day and generate the leads we need. And today's message, of course, was about using paid social ads to generate leads. This is something that we can all consider and we can all try out with the proper steps in place. So the good thing about paid social ads is that they work with any budget. So, depending on your social platform, you can run an ad with a budget as low as $5 or as much as $5,000 or even more. So, there is something for every business. So, again, I'm going to create a message about each. Oh, one thing I want to do is I want to create a series, or at least a one message about the different social media platforms and with the ads that they have and the difference between them. Because when it comes to putting an ad out, you want to select the right social platform that's going to reach your audience. So it's good to know the difference between all the different social media platforms that have ad options and which one's right for which business. So if this is something you'd be interested in, let me know. I'm going to make that happen, and let me know what kind of information you would need to know about the different social media platforms so you can choose the right one for your business. So next week, we're going to wrap up this series on lead generation by exploring how we can generate leads by creating strong referral partnerships with those we meet while networking. Guys, this is going to be a great message, and I think it's going to help a lot of people, a lot of small businesses form the relationships they need and get some good referral chains coming in. So until then, you guys have a great, wonderful, and productive week. I hope you learned something valuable here today about using social media ads to generate leads. And I'm really enjoying this series. So you guys have a good week, and I'll see you next week.